Alright, I think today we're going to try to carve a clip. I'm going to try to keep you in camera the best I can. I'll be using my Dremel 4300 and my flex shaft with an array of bits. I'll explain them in the voiceover because I'll have to be wearing my mask and my vacuum will be going. But this is fractal burning, Lichtenberg, I can't pronounce it, but burning it with electricity. I've already did that. I pre-spun the stick a while ago, and it's a little wood spirit doodad that I'm going to try to carve in there. So let me get everything set up and we'll get started. Thank you for watching. Alright, we're recording again. This is just a little Dremel burr, little ball burr. I'll use it to outline most of the guide there. We'll get started. Alright, got the dust mask on, fixing to get noisy, so I guess this is where a voiceover might begin, if we get lucky and have one. I'm gonna switch out my burrs real quick. I made this a while ago. I spun it down on my lathe and then just knocked my little tool down in there for my Dremel. Makes it easier for me to handle. I guess what works, right? Alright, I'm going to my cut saw. It's in the extreme, but I guess just the aggressive. Where do we go? There we go. Yeah, the extreme right there, but I'm not using that one. This one's too small. But I'm going to use that to go through and feather out some of my wood and make everything stand out some. But alright, vacuum's coming back on. Today I'm trying to finish up my little clip guy here. I'm working on him the other day some and then had to stop. We're going to try to finish him up. Finish carving him up, get him all cleaned up, and then I'll decide what colors I'm going to put into the burn there. One of my Jordy Johnson Carbon Fusion inspired cases there. That's what I picked up my spirits too, was from Carbon Fusion. I've always made roach clips, but I started putting faces on them not too long ago, and in my adventure to figure out how to do that, I found Jordy Johnson's YouTube channel, Carbon Fusion, and it's been a blast. But yeah, I'll turn on all the noisemakers. I got my Dremel 4300 flex shaft using some little Dremel ball bits. Then I'll probably use some little diamond bits to try to get some of the detail worked in. And we'll go from there. Enjoy. I believe this particular bit is an aluminum cutting bit. I picked it up off of Amazon. That's the rest of the set. Never had too many bursts. I got boxes of birds. Gotta do the hair. This part always messes with me when I go to do the hair. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I always feel, no matter how crappy or good I got the spirit, when I do the hair, I'm just gonna mess it up. But most of the time it turns out okay. Sometimes I freehand it in there. Most of the time I try to give me a simple little pattern to kind of follow with the burr. And then of course that always kind of changes and goes whichever way the burr wants to go in the wood. I can say I'm giving myself a pattern, but most of the time, like I said, it goes whichever way. But I try to give it some movement and some flow. It will cross through. We'll see how it works. Alright, back to some noise. Of course, that for the medication, you gotta have that going. Only for medicated purposes. see what we got. Let me see if I can. Oh, got a little closer. Alright. Still got to work on the eyes and the eyebrows. And this little beard and mustache, and then his hair. Once I can get this tuned in a little bit more, I'll take my torch, burn little fuzzies on here. This one's not as fuzzy as it normally gets, but I'll still torch it a little bit and then hit it with my little flap sanders. Where'd they go? Let's see. I got some emery. Well, no, what is this? Scotch Brite, whatever you want to call that, cut up onto this one. These are little mandrels I bought from Pete Blair off of the Kindred Spirits of wood carving. I think that's the name, Kindred Spirits. Facebook group, Mr. Peter Blair. He sells these, pretty cool. I like them. He's got a bunch of little bits and stuff he uses, but I use these the most. Shaking them out. This is my other one. I have two of them. This one I got sandpaper hooked onto it at the moment. Emery cloth. It's about wore out. Jordy Johnson turned me onto those. They work pretty good. And of course, it's that time of year. Packages are showing up. So let me pause this. I'll be right back. Okie dokie, we're back at it. Now, this is all out of whack from where I bumped it. Oh no. There we go. Might not have to do no torching. Still got to put a little bitty burr on here so I can get his little eyebrows. Where's my finger? It's a tiny Dremel burr. Tiny, I tell you. I probably ain't even gonna focus in on it. I hope it focuses. I can't see my camera that well. Yeah, with my 4300, I never run it at full speed. The foot pedal runs wide open, but I only run it at like 25 on the little dial, and it goes up to what, 35? And so I barely ever hit 30. Like I said, it stays around 25, maybe a little over. But when I go to sanding, I jack it down to 10. Just over 10, never over 15. 15 would be like wide open for sanding, and I don't even go that fast. But around 10 to 12 is about maximum. And then this just gonna buff off some of the edges here. Knock some of the little bits down. But you hear that's not fast at all on the motor. That way it don't strain the brushes. And then it don't eat up all your detail either. Just knocking all the little fuzzies off. get them in little 5-packs, 4-packs. They're not too bad if you let them do the work. They go dull quick if you try to force them. I burnt one up real fast on a piece of oak. I didn't like that. I'm going back to my buffer. I turned my Dremel back down. Alright, give me just a minute. I guess we'll go ahead and tie the clip on there. Let me pause this again real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, back. Got some new tools on the set. My clippers, clip, my wrap. See if we can do this better this time. Last time I sucked at doing this part. Again, I'm not used to doing this on camera. I did a good bite. Then you gotta do it just right. Catch the metal and not crimp the wood. You crimp the wood, you just split it, and then you've lost the strength of your stick. But you crimp it right, you don't split the wood, it stays strong. Then when you attach your thread, that just really gets it. And then once you glue that down, then it ain't going nowhere. I got that there. I take my thread. I normally get about at least 3.5 foot worth. I pull off of the spool. I just stretch it 3 pulls in my arm. About 6 foot, so that's about 3.5 foot of pull, and I pull it 3 or 4 times. So heck, it might be more than that. Never really measured it. I just grab the spool, pull it away once, grab it, pull it away twice, grab it the 3rd time, and then clip. I always have leftover, but it's just thread. It's not that expensive. And then again, I hold a little piece down, wrap a few times, and then start my twist. This is the hard part, but not hard, just getting your rhythm. And I say I got that excess right there. That's just too much. It's gonna get in the way. Better to cut that, because you could burn up your whole end right there. I can just start over. Alright. You get your tension just right, and you start your twist. This is how I do it. This is my trick. We in camera? Yeah, we're in camera. And I got the wrong glasses on, but I can still see. Just once I start wrapping, you'll see some silver from the clip still. That's okay. We'll cover that when we go back across. But now I'm on just the wood. I take my thumb, tighten it up every now and then. This one's pretty tight so far. Now, I stop and I slowly pull my string back out, because it'll twist up on you and it'll tie up in a knot if you're not careful, and that'll make a mess. We don't want no knots. Alright. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that little bit of chrome, silver, whatever, gleaming through. Still got to cover that up. Then as I go back up the stick, when I get to that point, I just slow down when I wrap over and just kind of guide the thread to cover the bare spots. You can do that a few times, and then it'll cover it right on up, and then you can shoot right on past it. There we go. back to the top, and I go back and forth from the top to the bottom a few times. I use that thread to kind of like when you do a fishing pole. If you ever had to wrap your eyes on a fishing pole, that material, that's what holds your eyes on, and that's what's really holding this clip in place. It's all this thread. And it's silly, but it makes a big difference. Uh-oh. I jumped the gun. I normally have another piece of thread that I double over, lay here, wrap over, and then pull, but hold on. I gotta shake the camera and pause y'all again. Alright, I'm back. Give my hand a little time to uncramp. That's a bad thing about it with the nerve damage from my neck. My hands, I got to hold them so damn tight when I do this thread that it starts cramping up after a while. Alright, you can see my thread here. I double this up, lay it across the top of that, right through here. Then I wrap the thread around it, which gives me, you'll see what I do. That's how I tie it. Kind of awkward to get started, but wrap around, not too tight. You pull too tight, you won't be able to pull your thread through. You'll end up snapping your pull string and having to start over. I've done that a lot. And with my hands, me not being able to feel how tight I do pull it half the time, I do it more than I want to. Wrap around this a few times. Oops, sorry, I was out of camera. Alright, now I'll take and do the same way I did with the clip. I'll wrap up and down this and cover up all that thread where you can't see it. Just kind of guide it with my fingers, keeping the tension on it, of course. But again, with this part, you don't want to pull it too tight. You pull it too tight, it pinches that other thread down and you can't pull it out. You end up breaking it trying to pull it through, and you need to pull that through. I'll show you why at the end. Sorry if I'm huffing and puffing in the microphone. I didn't think about that. I just get in my zone. Alright, back at the bottom. I'm gonna come right back up to the top. I think I pulled it too tight, but we'll find out. Alright, now I'm at the top. Take my string, I go through this little bitty hole, loop, opening, whatever you want to call it. Pull the excess back through. Hold that tight so as it don't on the wrap. Grab that. Hopefully I'm not too tight, because what I'm doing, ooh, I'm too tight. I think we get it. It pulls the thread back underneath all this. So you pull it through, cut it just a little bit, gives yourself a little tag, tail tag, pull through. Voila, it worked. Unwrap all this off my fingers here. Sorry. Alright, no knots. And that's not glued down yet, but that's not coming off. That's not coming off at all. And so what I do then is I'll take the super glue I have. I need to get hooked up with Starbond glue and start using them, but I just take some liquid super glue, soak the threads real good, and then let that dry, and then that's not going nowhere. Alright, let's put our glue on there. And I use a toothpick as well to spread the glue around. So, you know, it's super glue. You don't want to glue your damn fingers. I've done it before. I know you probably laugh, but yep, I've glued my fingers before. Oh, that's too much. Right. I got some glue up on the stick. I try to keep the glue strictly on the threads. That way, if I go to stain the wood for the stick, it'll all stain. If you get too much glue on the wood, the glue, of course, seals the wood, so it won't let it stain up any. But probably gonna just leave this natural. We'll see what we're gonna do. Alright, now I got a lot of glue. I got a droplet forming on the bottom down here, which is perfect because that means it's all saturated. But I'll take a toothpick and I'll pull some of that excess glue off with the toothpick here. That's perfect. Put my glue up. Let me see if I can wipe some of that. I got a bunch of it on the stick, but it'll be alright. Alright, throw that away. And that's it. Next step's gonna be to do the epoxy. I'm gonna put some epoxy inside the little lightning groove I did with the burner. And I'll put some in the eyes, maybe a little bit in the mouth, and I'll clear it. And then let's see, this is another one I did, but I didn't do this one on camera. I went through and came back with a wood burner and burned some texture, and this one's beard, and that's the hair and the eyes. And the clip, it's all dry. But there's two of them so far. Alright, that's the end of this part. Thank you for watching. Alright, we're gonna stain this bad boy today. Oh, I gotta find my gloves. Got me some gloves to put on. Oh yeah, that one's got a hole in it. That should be okay. I'm gonna use, I was looking at my stains. I got a bunch of different stains. I like the darker colors. I think I'm gonna use some dark walnut. I use a paper towel to wipe it all on, let it sit there for a little bit, and then wipe it all back off. Get my little can opener. Love these. We bought some paint. We got a couple of these. I kept them, of course, because they were perfect for your stain. Already shook it up. Let's see how damn dark this is gonna get. I'm probably gonna mess it up. Oh well. Here we go. Ooh, that's dark. so dark when we wipe it off. We will have to see here directly. Oh, that's dark. Trying to fill up all the little crevices and holes. His nose, his mouth, I hollowed out the eyes. And then all the hair grooves, I want to cover all of them with the stain, of course. That's a mess. That's why my table is as nasty as it is. 'Cause I make a mess. Alright, let's try to wipe some of this shit off. Right. Let's put the lid back on there. We're done with that. And I got my baby hammer. We bang the lid on. Bop. Alright. That went dark. It wanted to go that damn dark. Let me throw that to the side. Yeah, I'm just trying to wipe as much of the excess off as I can to lighten it up some. I did not want it to go that dark. I knew it was going to be dark, but I was hoping the wood was going to be a little more, I guess the grains would be a little more, not as porous. That sand soaked up in there. Sometimes when you get a real good sand on there, it almost seals the wood where the stain don't soak into it as bad. I guess that's what it does. Heck, I don't know. Alright. Back's been messing with me today. I call it the gremlins. I got my own damn issues. I guess we all got our own issues, but I got lower back problems. Permanent impression in my spinal canal down there, so my sciatic nerve's kind of always messing with me. And I got my neck fused, vertebrae, was it 3, 4, and 5? They fused it from the front, which was kind of interesting. Too fast. Turn it down. Start up my damn Dremel. That stain went way too dark. I'm trying to see if we can't buff some of it off the stick. Cover it up with lightning. Might have to let it dry some and then come back and do this again. It might not be dry enough yet. Yeah, we gotta let that dry some. I'll be right back. Okay. It's dried some. Let's see if we can knock off some of them hot spots. There's sandpaper. Alright, not too bad. Knocked off some of the high points, give it a little more color. I'm gonna fill in that with a little bit of resin, make it stand out a little bit. Not too much though. And that'll be done. Thank you for watching.